Watch Kyle Bagamis against Clyde Martin in the feature match area.
Clyde Martin's a great team.
Hello and welcome back to Grand Prix Cincinnati. This is Jacob Van Lunen. I'm being joined by Randy Buehler, and we are now in the semifinals. Clyde Martin, playing his mono black aggro deck, is facing off against Kyle Bagamis.
Yes, not Brad Nelson, despite what the screen says.
Esper Control. So we'll get those names changed pretty quickly there, but
yeah, Clyde Martin's a great story here. Here's a guy started playing Magic back when Ice Age came out. So essentially 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, plays for a while, very competitive guy, you know, tries to qualify for the Pro Tour, plays a bunch of tournaments, never actually managed to qualify for the Pro Tour. But you know what? You grow up, right? You get married, you have a kid, you've got responsibilities. And you know what? Kids can't actually play Magic when they're born. You know, 5, 6 years old. They tend to try out some of the other TCGs that are out there. And so, yeah, Clyde basically had stopped playing. And then there was a magical day for him. I was listening to him tell the story. He comes in, and it's the 10-year-old and the 12-year-old. And they're not playing Pokemon. They're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! He looks down. They're playing Magic. Like they had tracked down their own Magic decks.
Imagine that.
They look up, and they're like, Dad, do you want to play? How awesome is that? To which Clyde said, yes.
Of course I want to play, and I want to play a Thoughtseize on turn 1 against my Esper Control opponent in the top 8 or top 4 of a Grand Prix.
Yeah,
that's what I'd really like to do.
Yeah, one of Clyde's sons is here, been playing side events all weekend. You know, he scrubbed out of a couple tournaments yesterday. Clyde had to chat with him today. He's like, you know, I can't keep paying for you. You're gonna maybe sell some of the cards you got yesterday to fund a draft. He said the highlight of the weekend for him is not so much making top 4 of the GP, but I mean, he was happy to get that Pro Tour spot. I mean, it's a long time coming for this guy. But, yeah, the highlight, he said, was one of his kids is over. He won a booster draft in side events. And they've got, like, an infinite draft promotion, so he goes straight into the next draft, too.
Nice.
Thoughtseize takes Thoughtseize. Yeah, Clyde's mono black aggro. I've been impressed by it every time I've watched him. It's a super aggressive curve, and he just keeps attacking. And he's very good at, you know, the Mutavaults do a lot of work in a deck like this.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
especially against Esper.
Yeah, they deal those finishing points against those Supreme Verdict strategies a lot of the time.
It also helps you avoid overextending. You know, you play 1, maybe 2 creatures, and then instead of adding to the board, you'll just attack with the Mutavault. Does not look like he has a Mutavault in this draw. There's the fancy Pain Seer. Not sure quite what promotion resulted in the full art Pain Seer, but that's what that is.
It's pretty good looking, that full art Pain Seer. It looks like Kyle won't have a way to deal with that right away, so he's going to need a way to deal with that on the next turn. It's going to start drawing Clyde an extra card.
Clyde for the Thoughtseize, too. Yeah, this has definitely got to be a matchup where Pain Seer's at its best. I mean, it can hurt to draw cards with the Pain Seer, and it's a little bit slow to get it started, but Esper's a deck where he's going to get to attack consistently, and where his life total's not under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, his life total's pretty irrelevant here.
Thoughtseize. Wow, is that 4 land in a Supreme Verdict?
That is.
Jeez.
Kyle has to cross his fingers and hope that
his deck loves him.
Yeah, he's got to you know, close his eyes, put his head down, and say a few nice words to Phoenix, hoping that things work out. An attack for 2 with Pain Seer there from Clyde Martin. Kyle plays Temple of Deceit, looking for another card, but we know from seeing his hand that all his draw steps the only action he might have. The trigger there from Pain Seer.
Wow. It's free and it's awesome. It's like the perfect card.
It is perfect. Another attack there from Painseer, driving Kyle down to 14 now. And Clyde about to advance his board further. Desecration Demon comes down.
Kyle needs to top deck Supreme Verdict. Kyle top deck Supreme Verdict.
That was a timely Supreme Verdict there from Kyle Bagamis.
I think Clyde's completely correct to play out a Desecration Demon.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you saw your opponent's hand. It was
exactly.
Pile of lands.
Alt Art Rakdos Cackler. Oh, the Mogi's Marauder. How about some haste?
Yes.
Take 4. You going to top deck another Supreme Verdict, Kyle?
Well, he's going to need to.
He is. He's on a 2-turn clock.
Can go land into Elspeth or something like that.
Sure.
We know there's not a lot that he has.
Does get to scry. Push. Jace.
That's a really good one.
Yeah. I'm sure this has happened to Clyde plenty. I'm not quite sure how he'll play this. It's always awkward. I never know what to do with the aggro deck against the Jace Plus ability. I mean, you want to damage them, but I mean, it's a 4-turn clock if he ignores Jace. But it'll take him 2 turns to kill Jace. You know what he needs here? He needs Bestow Herald of Torment.
Oh, yeah. That would be absolutely ideal.
Or Hero's Downfall would be fine, too.
Coming in now for 3 damage with an activated Mutavault. Going to drop Kyle down to 9. Ooh, and Kyle finds Elspeth, Sun's Champion. That's exactly what he needed there. He's going to make 3 tokens. Gum up this board quite a bit now. The top of Kyle Bogami's deck has been quite nice.
It really has. I'm not sure what deity he was praying to, but whoever it is.
Sign me up.
Yeah, apparently worth believing in.
Mutavault gets activated again. And it looks like Clyde is about to send the team, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, what else is he going to do, right?
There's not much else you can do in this spot, I don't think. It looks like his hand is just a pair of lands.
I think there's a Thoughtseize in there. It's just all the good cards are not in Kyle's hand. They're on top of the deck. Yeah. They go straight from the top of the deck to the battlefield. Clyde's activated Mutavault, and he's trying to figure out who to attack with what. It's another one, right? Do you apply pressure to Elspeth? Do you try to finish Kyle off?
All right, so coming in now, coming in hot.
Which way did he attack?
It looked like he was just attacking at Kyle.
Okay. So Kyle takes 2 and kills a Mutavault. Yeah, that attack doesn't work. I mean, it's not going to get Kyle whittled down.
No,
right?
it's
3
not.
more tokens means you can double block Chump, take 0. He's basically got the board stabilized. What Clyde needs is either the second Mogi's Marauder, he plays 2, or he needs a Herald of Torment. That's basically what he needs. I mean, Hero's Downfall would be nice, but...
Looks like he found a Desecration Demon.
Ugh,
but
always
Elspeth's
awkward against
actually,
Elspeth, yeah. No, I was thinking Big Flyer, like
it.
Herald of Torment, but Desecration Demon is no Herald of Torment here. The fact that Kyle can just feed Elspeth tokens to him is super awkward for Clyde Martin.
Yeah, so I think Clyde really just has to attack again. He can't let the... Or maybe you don't.
Yeah.
Maybe you just...
You can't attack. I think you just play the demon and say go. I mean, I think you play the demon. keep the tokens under control a little bit. I mean, because
Yeah, you might
Elspeth's
as well.
ultimate is starting to become relevant. It's not that far off.
Yeah, and I mean, he can just sacrifice tokens and tap that down indefinitely, but
Right, but then at least you're
there's-
killing the tokens.
yeah, you're at least getting them off the table.
More Scrylands for Kyle. Wow, I really thought Clyde Martin had this.
So did I. I mean, it really looked good for him.
He had
when
to
we saw
top
that
deck Supreme
Thoughtseize.
Verdict. Supreme Verdict for the Pain Seer and the Demon. Then Jace into Elspeth. I mean, the deck does top deck well, right? I mean, it's full of Scrylands.
Definitely.
So
and
you're
I mean,
often top decking a Scry to top of the library.
Yeah, he got to dig a few cards deep on multiple
Yeah,
occasions.
there's a decent selection of cards that are good to top deck. Yeah, that first one, though, pretty much had to be a Supreme Verdict. Even Sphinx's Revelation would not have helped. Jace would have bought him a turn, maybe. At this point, though, Cal doesn't need any help from his deck anymore. He just needs Clyde not to find a way out.
Yeah, and I mean, now Clyde's going to need. Will Herald of Torment even do it?
Herald here is awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, it kills the.
I mean, it kills Elspeth.
the Elspeth, yeah.
And it hangs out, right? Well, Tormented Hero. I don't know that he's going to
Sure.
come up with 7 effects to point at Tormented Hero. Not sure he had 7 in his deck.
He could draw Marauder at this point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Marauder
but
is great.
he's-
There's only
is
one
he
more.
dead on board? Yeah, he's dead on board.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens at 3. Oh, he's only at 14.
So that's 15. He's
And
no
he's
cards in his
empty-handed,
hand.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, empty-handed. Elspeth ultimate attack for 15 in the air.
Yeah. So that's likely it. If Kyle sees that, though.
Right.
Yes, but
Kyle sees
he
that.
does. Yeah. Pro Tour finalist Kyle Bagames
Yes.
sees his onboard victory.
Kyle has a Grand Prix top 8, right?
He does.
He's a third-place finish. Now, he's been away from the game for a couple years. I don't know the backstory. Seemed like I was reading on Twitter, kind of, welcome back, Kyle Bogamaze, where have you been?
Yeah, he's somebody who I think he played a lot with a lot of the RAW guys when they were around there, and
Right.
then they kind of dissipated, and
Right.
he really just didn't play as much Magic. And
Yeah.
you know, we're pretty close. We're within striking distance of that shop.
Yeah,
at
it's
this
definitely
point, and
drivable
then-
from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
So he decided to make the trip down here this weekend, and here he is battling in the top 4. I
Nice.
mean, he's pretty good at Magic.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Clyde's about an hour south of Indianapolis, so close, even closer drive for him.
Oh, that's nice. That's 2.5, 3-hour drive maybe.
Not even sure it's that far. So he's got like a nice triangle. He can get to Indianapolis, he can get to Louisville, he can get to Cincinnati. Kind of a nice spot. He and his 12-year-old may be road tripping a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so after
He's
this.
got a Pro Tour to prepare for.
He does. He's got a playtest partner.
What happens here after sideboarding? Kyle's got not a ton. I mean, he's got 2 Blood Barons. Those are going to be outstanding. He's got 2 Archangels. He probably brings those in. I don't know how much. I know Clyde is in the habit of taking out the 2 Bile Blights and the 2 Devour Flesh in his main, but he also sometimes hedges because he knows people tend to bring in Blood Baron against him, so the Devour Fleshes will sometime hang out in the main even after sideboarding. In terms of his sideboard, 4 Duress seem very relevant here, and 1 copy of Erebos, God of the Dead, is probably coming in. Not sure what he takes out other than
He's probably taking out the demons,
the
right?
removal. Yeah, I mean, he's
I
only
think-
got 3. Like, they're sometimes good. This is not a matchup where they're great. I mean, they can hit hard, but
See, personally, I like taking out my demons and my Bile Blights and bringing in my Duresses and my 1 Erebos, and it just like works.
yeah,
fits.
it's 5 for 5. That works.
And I do want the Devour
Leaving in the 2
Flushes
Devour Flushes, yeah.
because you,
Oh, yeah.
you get to see your opponent's sideboard. You know that he has access to Blood
Right.
Baron, and
Right.
you kind of just have to respect it.
Right.
'Cause
Even
if
though
he's
even
not
though
siding it in
Archangel
here,
is
where's he
useful.
siding it in, right?
Sure. What do you do if you're Kyle?
If I'm Kyle here, I think I want to. Where's the sideboard? Right there, okay.
Ultimate Price seems good.
Yeah, Ultimate Price is definitely a
Two
good
Blood
one.
Barons is good.
I think you're bringing the Archangel, too.
I think so. What are you taking out, though? Last Breath seems fine.
So I think you take out Thoughtseize.
2 Thoughtseizes, sure.
Yeah, Syncopate's awful, right?
It's not good.
Yeah.
Even Dissolve is not particularly good.
Yeah, I think you probably just cut
It's
the
funny, I
Dissolve
think Syncopate
and
might
the
be better
Syncopate.
than Dissolve. It's probably
Yeah.
not true, but 3 is expensive,
3
right?
is expensive.
And Clyde's going to be tapping out constantly, so Syncopate can at least trade 2
Hey,
mana.
you know what? That's true. I used to, in some matchups, like, keep my, like, Power Sync-esque card.
Yeah, it's such a
in
bad
where I
top
cut
deck
other
once the
things.
game goes 5-6 turns, though.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Maybe
because
take out
his hand
all the
gets empty.
permission, take out all 6 counters.
I could take out all 6 counters. I could
Then
get
you go
behind that.
Blood Barons, Archangels,
The Ultimate Price.
and the Ultimate Price, that's 5.
Is that it? And then, yeah, there's no other card there.
Well, you're taking out the Thoughtseizes, so I guess you're going to have to leave some permission in your deck.
Well, maybe you leave the Thoughtseizes in and you just take out all the permission.
That doesn't sound right. You really think... Thoughtseize hurts.
It does hurt, but it
The
also,
2 life is very relevant in this matchup.
Yes.
And
Very,
it's
very,
not, it's
very
not like
relevant.
Clyde's card. Clyde's cards are all kind of the same, too.
That's true.
I mean, some not all the same, but it's not like against the opposing Esper deck where their deck is a giant pile of mana and 4 Sphinx's Revelations.
yeah, so maybe you take out your Thoughtseizes and you just take out permission, and then
I
you
think
know,
you take
your,
out
your
some. You
counterspells
shave
are,
the permission.
Yeah, your counterspells are actually not the absolute worst.
No, they're not terrible.
because-
They're just a little slow.
especially
Like,
because of Mogus Marauder.
and because you're
especially.
falling behind on mana.
Mhm.
Well, you're saying Moggy's Marauder is a good reason to want the counterspells.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's one reason why they might stay in.
Right. And Clyde does have some, countering a bestowed Herald of Torment. Yeah, I think
That's a big play.
you keep in a couple dissolves. You just have to make sure you bring in, anything that can deal with the 1-drop, 2-drop, Tormented Hero, Pain Seer, and I've got a Mutavault. I'm done casting spells for a while. That's the draw that Clyde wants. That's the draw Kyle has to live in the most fear of. So it looks like we have gotten the back table match started up. Jared Butcher and Brad Nelson are back there.
Yep, battling away. The hexproof deck against the Esper control deck. The right side of the table is the Esper people. The left side of the table is
Funny.
the anti-Espers.
That's funny. All right, here we go.
Mutavault on turn 1 for Clyde
Yeah,
Martin.
that's usually a good sign. I mean, on the one hand, it means you're going to get attacked by Mutavault on turn 2. The only reason to really play the Mutavault on turn 1 is if you're planning to attack with it. I mean, I guess Clyde could also be planning to play a Pain Seer. But yeah. Turn 1 Mutavault means it's usually coming over on turn 2. Which is certainly not the most aggressive draw. Life Bane Zombie. Ha!
Yeah,
Left
that's
Syncopate still in
Syncopate.
this deck.
Just the Syncopate there was probably very,
was.
very good.
It was
because
absolutely good.
an
I haven't seen if he's
Archangel
got
or
it.
Blood Baron.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's another place where the Syncopates can be good.
Well, the second one resolves. But swing and a miss,
It is a swing and a miss.
which is both good news and bad news.
yes.
I mean, you'd rather hit, but you're also happy your opponent doesn't have any of those creatures. So what does that hand? 2 land, Elspeth, Jace, Azorius Charm, Last Breath?
Looks like it. Clyde gonna write all this down.
Yeah.
It's an important thing. Never feel like you're above writing down what's in your opponent's hand.
Oh, yeah.
You can always forget.
Yep. Clyde's always just chipping away with his Mutavaults. What's the play here?
I like
Last Breath Immunivolt?
Yep.
Do you do anything about the Life Bane zombie? It's going to Azorius Charm or? Yeah, put it on top. Now Kyle sort of has to hope he doesn't draw a Blood Baron. Or I guess if he does, he would just play it. Any 5-drop creature he draws here, any white creature that might be vulnerable to the Life Bane zombie can actually just be played.
Well, now it can't be, but
I'm guessing he didn't draw it. I mean, I think he had a land that could come into play untapped.
no, he used the untapped land, the island, to play the Jace.
All right. Herald is going to start chipping away at both players' life total.
Let's see.
You just run out Life Bane again? You know your opponent has an Elspeth. Life Bane's pretty good at pressuring an Elspeth.
Yes, it is. And, I mean, your opponent won't be... So is Herald, but you'd rather have both in play.
Mm-hmm. There's also this Jace that needs to be attacked as well.
Yeah.
Or did he attack Kyle?
Looks like he attacked Kyle. It seems a little odd. He must have, like, maybe Hero's Downfall or
Maybe.
something. Actually, you know what? I don't necessarily hate the attack to Kyle there.
Yeah?
You're gonna get to play the Life Bane this turn too, or play Hero's Downfall, right? And
Yeah. I like Life Bane better than Hero's Downfall here.
oh, okay.
Oof.
See, now
That
it's
is not good
really
news.
rough. That's really bad for
Yes.
Clyde.
Yes, it is. Is it wrong for me to root against Esper Control in these two semifinals? Let's see the more interesting decks win, you know? Esper won the last standard GP we were at. Alexander Haynes' hands.
You mean you're not rooting for the Esper mirror in the finals?
I mean,
You
I don't
weren't.
mind a control mirror.
Neither do I.
I mean, I do see your point. You have the finals off. You just want to go to dinner.
That's fair.
Yeah, Supreme Verdict does wipe the board away here. Things looking very good for Kyle. He's got an Elspeth ready to come down. He's wiped the board. Clyde had kind of a slow start anyway. Kyle's even managed to deal with the Mutavault that was in this draw.
Kyle has just had it all in these games. I mean, it is a wealth of options
Here's Elspeth.
for the Michigan player.
This may run into a Hero's Downfall. Yeah, if Clyde does not have a Hero's Downfall for Elspeth here, the game's basically over. I think he does, though.
It looks like he does. But even dealing with that Elspeth, those 3 tokens cause a pretty big problem for a deck like Clyde's.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that Jace that's just going to be ticking up the other side of the table.
Again, Herald seems like what you need. Flying actually feels pretty good in Standard right now.
Mine feels very good. The Shadowborn Demon seems awesome. Like not in this deck, but elsewhere.
Right.
All right, in the tank here. Clyde decides to go with Hero's Downfall on that Elspeth.
Yep. I don't think he can attack. Jace trigger turns the Marauder into a 1-2. Doesn't have Intimidate other than the turn it comes into play, so. Seems like Kyle can just keep ticking up his Jace and wait to draw something else awesome. No, he's going to draw cards. Maybe he's got a backup Jace.
It's definitely a possibility.
There's a Night Veil in from the sideboard. Splits a Night Veil or no, that makes sense. Kyle wants to land. Now what? Now we scry some more. Five?
What's 5?
Archangel of Thune.
That's 5.
That's not.
Ugh. Yeah, Clyde has Devour Flesh.
Yeah.
with
Oh,
2
another Devour
copies,
Flesh.
But
Jeez, really? Those 3 leftover Elspeth tokens are doing some serious work here. His hand is Devour Flesh, and an Adidas hat.
Yeah, that's all he's got. I mean, he can't even bluff anything because Kyle knows his whole list. Like, I guess in normal cases, he might be able to, attack with the
second
Marauder.
Mogi's Marauder. It's got a second Mogi's Marauder.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the other card.
Yeah,
It doesn't do a whole lot.
With the Angel out, it's really not much, but
Wow. Devour
yeah,
Flesh.
now he gets
eats
a
token.
counter on all of his guys too.
Oh, because he gains
Devour
life from the Devour
makes him gain
Flesh.
life.
Jeez.
Pretty cool interaction for those of you who are confused about what just happened. Devour Flesh was targeting Kyle Bagamis. He sacrificed a token and thus gained 1 life, and the Archangel of Thune triggered and put a +1/+1 counter on every creature he controlled.
Land untapped. Huh. Bring the team.
He's bringing the team. He's going to hop up to 19 here.
Yeah.
Lifelink on that Archangel of Thune. Then the Archangel is going to become a 5/6 lifelinker, and both of his Elspeth are going to be 3/3s, trumping that Mogi Marauder.
Right. I don't know how Clyde wins from here. I mean, he
Seems
basically
pretty
has to draw
difficult.
Hero's Downfall just to buy a turn or two.
And, I mean, when you're at this stage of the game, I mean, when you're playing from behind as
Yeah.
the aggressive deck, it's just always very bad.
Yes.
You want to be leaning on people.
You know what he could do? So he can activate Mutavault. He can block 1 token with Mutavault, the other token with Mogi's Marauder. They all trade, and now Devour Flesh can actually get the Archangel. That's got to be
true.
the play here. Oh, jeez. Sphinx's Revelation triggers the Archangel, puts +1/+1 counters on the entire team. Those are no longer trades. Those are 3/3 tokens beating up Clyde's creatures.
Yeah.
And, oh, by the way,
I draw 6
6.
cards.
Yeah, we're
Pretty
done.
nice interaction there, and that's it.
GG.
So, Kyle Bagamis coming in as the 7th seed, making his way to the finals here in Grand Prix Cincinnati.
Clyde's block there seemed completely correct. I mean, you kind of suspected Kyle was up to something because it's kind of an aggressive attack for the Esper deck. He knows about the existence of, 2/2 Devour Fleshes in Clyde's list, so. Yeah, here's another Devour Flesh. You do what you got to do. Well, that'll eat a token and keep one of his creatures alive. That's what's going to happen here. Also means he'll take an extra damage from the Archangel. All right. Kyle has to decide whether he wants Clyde to keep his Mutavault or whether he wants Clyde to keep his Mogi's Marauder. He says you can keep the Mogi's Marauder.
Yeah, and this Archangel.
Yeah.
Now we'll deal
Man
damage, and
down.
he'll get another +1/+1 counter on his guys.
Yeah.
So the Archangel just dealt 6 lifelinking damage. Now
Even the Elspeth token is up to 5/5 now.
Yes, it is. Archangel's only been in play a turn.
I know. It's crazy.
It's done a lot of work.
This basically has to be Hero's downfall.
And it's a Mogi Marauder. It's not going to do it.
Yeah, you can't even double block that token at this point.
Kyle's going to come in with a 7-power flying lifelinker.
Not bad.
Plus his 5/5 token here.
Also not bad. And he's at 30, and he's got a full grip. Oh, jeez. Detention Sphere kids. Both Mogi's Marauders, and Clyde Martin has seen enough.
Yeah.
Wow. What a blowout. Kyle Bogamis through to the finals.
Kyle Boggamis, this is his second Grand Prix top 8. He also has a Pro Tour top 8 where he made it all the way to the finals, lost to Simon Gortzen.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle's top 8 was a standard event that Brad won, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the many. I guess Brad's only won the one.
Yeah, Brad only has one actual victory, but
This is 9 top 8s, though.
Very good at top 8ing. He's very good at top 4ing in particular.
Okay.
He makes it to top 8, he wins the first round, and then he loses.
Uh-oh.
So I'd like to
It's good
like
news
to see
for all
him
the
break
Jared
that
Butcher fans
curse.
out there. Kyle Bogamis through to the finals with the sweep of Clyde Martin. Looked like Brad and Jared were shuffling up for. I think they played a game while we were watching. Did we get it? Can we get a result on game 1 over there before we go watch game 2? Yeah, Brad Nelson. When we've been talking about the standard streak, which is just ridiculous. It's the last 6 GPs. Brad is up a game.
Ooh.
Last 6 standard Grand Prix have resulted in 5 top 8s and a top 16. Absolutely absurd numbers for Brad Nelson. He's up to 9 career Grand Prix top 8s, and he'd love to put a second W on the board.
I'm sure he would. I mean, I've been friends with Brad for a very long time. Before either of us were on the Pro Tour,
yeah, Brad
were
was
Magic
telling that
Online
story on
buddies,
our
and
quick
yeah.
questions. First tournament he ever showed up for, just ran into you outside the tourney hall.
Yeah, like Nationals 2006 or something.
Crazy.
And we just became friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So. And
How's-
then we both started to have success right after that. Yeah. It's how when you meet somebody else who wants to do well in Magic, it propels both people.
Yeah, no, people always ask, what's the best way to get better at Magic? It's find somebody who's good and watch them play, or find somebody who's better than you and try to figure out why you keep losing to them. Understanding why people make the plays that they make and what it is that the good players are doing just to win more than you. That's really the key. And so it'll be a community, right? You'll have a group of people that just get together and play against each other all the time, and sort of the community all lift each other. It's a little bit less true in this sort of since Magic Online has come out, and so much of so many people's practice has been on Magic Online, but it's still true even nowadays.
Well, I mean, with Brad and I, he lived in North Dakota. I lived in New Jersey. We were friends on Magic Online.
Right.
So it was on Magic Online.
Right.
So if anything, it makes it more true, I think. Pair of Temple of Silences on either side of the table. Now 3 Temple of Silences on the table. And a duress there from Jared Butcher.
How's this matchup? I haven't seen it yet.
Pretty close, I feel.
It seems like you go to Black Devotion with white. I mean,
You get access
No.
to 2 Blood Barons, which are decent in this matchup, better than the Gray Merchants would have been, I feel.
I'll buy that.
Then you also get 1 Revoke main, and that's a good card in this matchup. So it's got to be at least as good as the Black Devotion deck.
Which is decent against Esper.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not spectacular, but
Yeah.
decent.
It's a coin flip. So that Duress is going to take Brad Sphinx Revelation. Can't fault Jared for that. Another Temple, this time of Enlightenment.
Oh, Jared's got Sin Collectors in his sideboard. That seems awesome in this matchup.
Yeah, those are very good here.
I mean, it feels like the game 1 is pretty close, but 2 Duress, 2 Sin Collector, an Erebos. Seems like awesome sideboard cards for Jared.
Well,
And
Brad
speaking
gets,
of,
Brad gets Dark Betrayal.
yeah, I guess. I mean, super efficient, but it's still just a 1-for-1. This Sin Collector is a 2-for-1. It got a Dark Betrayal and a Supreme Verdict.
That's true.
Brad's now down to, what is it, land and an Elspeth?
Yep.
Sin Collector seems like one of the best cards
Well,
in
it
the
didn't get the
format
Sphinx's
against
Revelation,
control.
and the Duress got the Sphinx's Revelation.
No, it
and
got
then
the Dark Betrayal and the Supreme Verdict.
Oh, it got the Supreme Verdict also? There was a Supreme Verdict?
Well, it triggered. Yeah, there was. I mean, the
Okay.
Sin Collector came down. Brad decided he did not want to let the Sin Collector take the Dark Betrayal out of his hand, so he cast the Dark Betrayal on Sin Collector as response to the triggered ability, but the ability still triggers.
Yeah.
Oh. Another Verdict off the top, deals with Lifebane Zombie. Oh, now here's a Pack Rat. And, yeah, Jared knows the coast is clear. Thoughtseize sees 2 land. Wow. Doesn't even get to deprive Jared of a Pack Rat.
That's pretty good for Jared.
Yes, he just goes all in. It's almost weird, though. Like, he kind of doesn't want his Pack Rats to be 4 power, because then they're vulnerable to the Elspeth, which is one of the last cards Brad has left. He's got a Mutavault, so he can make them 4 power sometimes. This is just, what, attack with Mutavault, Pack Rat, make a Pack Rat,
Yeah.
hit for 10.
Yeah. Man, Pack Rat's
He could also hit for
pretty
8.
good.
He could also hit for 8 and say go, and he's still got lethal next turn. Although, if Elspeth comes down and makes tokens, things get a little tricky.
Hey, you know the Elspeth is coming down if there's no Supreme Fund. So.
He elects to attack for 4.
Ooh, that's interesting.
That surprises me. That gives Brad an extra turn.
Oh, well.
Oh, because he
there's
wants to
an
make
extra
Blood Baron?
Yep.
All right, I'll buy that. That seems worth taking a turn off, I guess. I don't know, though. I might have been tempted to hold that as a hedge against Supreme Verdict off the top. Like, does he have lethal here? He can get 3, 6, 7, 8. He can only attack Brad for 12. And through the Elspeth tokens. I don't know. I mean, Blood Baron's awesome. But, I mean, Jared's far enough ahead that I might have tried to just win the game with just Pack Rats, holding Blood Baron back in case Brad top decks the 3rd Supreme Verdict.
And Brad needs to draw the Supreme Verdict here.
Yeah, this line from Jared, though, it's much better against Detention Sphere. It's worse against Verdict. It's better against Sphere. All right.
And Brad does still have 4 spheres and only 2 verdicts left, so.
So at least the Blood Baron went toward Elspeth. Yeah, okay. Both Pack Rats get chumped, and the Blood Baron connects for 4 loyalty counters off Elspeth. Jared ships the turn. Elspeth makes 3 more tokens. Jared's probably going to make another Pack Rat. Now what? Blood Baron finishes off Elspeth. Pack Rats attack Brad.
I would assume so.
Yeah. Rev. 4 cards. Feels like this game's going to get decided over the course of the next turn or 2.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close to being decided already.
Nah, I mean, Brad needs to draw a sweeper.
Yeah, he can
Rev
draw
for 4 is a
Supreme
good
Verdict
way
here.
to find it. How many ways does he have to deal with Blood Baron other than Supreme Verdict? You can't Detention Sphere it, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think he has any way besides Supreme Verdict. I've seen that deck quite a bit.
Yeah, 2 Doom Blades do not help. Dark Betrayal doesn't help. Yep, it's just the last 2 verdicts. Can he find one? Or are we going to game 3?
Looks like he has one more turn to find it, maybe?
Sounds right. Dig. Dig some more. He's already played his Cryland this turn, right? And
Yep.
so he takes the dissolve. All right. He's got 3 Elspeth tokens left to chump with. Wait, can he survive a turn? If Jared makes a Pack Rat, and then he's going to get through with Blood Baron +1 Pack Rat. Jared went down. Yeah, I think this attack is lethal from Jared. Brad needs an instant.
Yeah, Brad needs to have something here, and it doesn't look like his mana isn't very good there. It's a Plains, Hallowed Fountain, Godless Shrine, so it's not Hero's Downfall mana. It's not Dissolve mana. It's
Jared basically deciding whether to activate Mutavault to throw that into the fray. Nope. 4 Pack Rats and a Blood Baron. You get 3 chumps. Can you deal with one of the Pack Rats? Oh, he attacked Jace?
mm-hmm.
Really? Did he just give Brad a free turn?
It looks like he did.
Nah, here's Erebos. I don't know if Brad had an answer there, but I wouldn't. I mean,
Drew the
attacking.
Supreme Verdict off the top.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not.
Did he have an answer to? Did he have a way to survive that attack if it had just been an Alpha Strike?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, Brad. You make me so happy when you draw Supreme Verdict.
Jeez. I mean, if Brad, there's a lot of cards Brad could have had there that for Jared to be playing around, right? I mean, it could have been a Last Breath, could have been
Well, not Last
Dark
Breath.
Betrayal.
It could have been Dark Betrayal.
Oh,
That's
yeah, Last
basi-
Breath
it's-
doesn't
I
even
think
help.
I think it was just Dark Betrayal.
Wow. Gets 2 lands instead of the dissolve.
This is a pretty brutal slow roll, to be honest.
No, I mean he wants to make Jared do the J split without realizing what's about to happen.
Oh yeah, well of course, but I'm just saying like the amount of time that all the iterations are taking before this is going to happen. It's
Now
it's gonna sting for Jared a bit.
wow. And he had him dead. If he just Alpha struck last turn, he would have won. Now he may still win. He's got an Erebos.
Yeah, he
That's
also
an
has a
excellent
Mutavault,
card.
and Brad's at 4.
Right.
And I mean,
He
he has
actually-
a lot of life to spend on that Erebos. He can
Yes.
just draw.
He got to 30 thanks to the Blood Baron.
Yeah.
That's a lot of cards. All right. Yep. Mutavault finishes off Jace. Here's another Pack Rat, but no 3rd land. Or no 7th land. I mean, he's going to be drawing a card with Erebos on end step. He's not going to be making a Pack Rat.
I think that's the last card in his hand, also though. So
Right.
Yeah.
If he'd playing a land, he wouldn't have been able to make a Pack Rat anyway. And here's the tensions here. Now, you have to hit Pack Rats if you're Brad Nelson, right? You can't afford to take the Erebos.
yeah, you're
He
just at
just-
4.
He's dead, right? Make a rat, activate Mutavault, kill you. Wow, yeah, the fact that Brad can't answer the Erebos seems like Jared should win from here.
Yes,
He's
I
drawing
imagine he will.
so many cards.
He's gotten a lot of cards for free from Brad.
Did he get a Night Veil Spectre in his hand? Oh, Lifebane Zombie. Sure, that'll get dissolved.
That's the dissolve that we saw earlier.
But he tapped his mana such that he couldn't follow up with Night Veil. Just chips away with Mutavault, takes half of Brad's life total. And and set up to draw another card with Erebos. Jace. Jace has got plussed.
Yes.
Which means Mutavault can take half again. Does this just keep going? He takes half of Brad's life total every turn. Does he ever get there?
No, he goes to like a half, and then a quarter, and then an eighth, and so on and so forth.
Is that how magic math works? Nightfell Spectre gets syncopated. But I mean, Brad can't trade 1-for-1 with Jared drawing 2-3 cards a turn thanks to Erebos. This has to end somewhere. It may end right here. I mean, just the Mutavault may end this.
Yep. So
Minus is the Jace. Oh, jeez.
Well,
really?
the Mutavault will not end this.
Wow.
Yeah, some excitement over there.
Yeah, we can hear Brad clapping from
Elspeth,
here. We're on the other side of the arena.
Sphinx Revelation and Revoke Existence off the top there for Brad. So no matter what, Brad gets an answer to the Erebos on the other side of the table, and either an Elspeth or a Sphinx's Revelation. Let it sink in for a second. No matter what.
Yeah. Wow, Revoke plus Elspeth.
Plus Revelation getting revealed.
What is happening?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Is this happening?
This is actually happening. This is real life. We're not playing fantasy magic here, guys.
What?
Oh my
Okay.
goodness, it's the lethal Nightfell Spectre.
That is lethal.
It is
Next
lethal. It is lethal.
Even a plus from Jace doesn't help. Brad now has to come up with an answer to Nightfell Spectre right now.
He does?
He's down to his last. Oh my
He
goodness!
finds one.
Down to his last point of life. And split was land. He takes land Dark Betrayal, declining the detention sphere.
Yep.
And yeah, makes some more tokens. Dark Betrayal can kill Nightfell Spectre. This is insane.
This is insane. This is absolutely insane. You're right. Another 3 tokens. He's going to go ahead and kill that Nightfell Spectre with the Dark Betrayal. Knows that he has to.
We were on our way to game 3, remember? Pack Rat.
Another Pack Rat? That doesn't really do that much right now.
It doesn't make tokens fast enough to get around those Elspeth tokens.
No, it does not.
Yeah, and Elspeth is up to 7. There's all 9 tokens are in play, right? None of them have gone away.
Correct.
So next turn, Brad can just attack Ultimate Elspeth and attack for lethal.
Yep.
And even if Jared can kill one of them, it's still lethal. Jared makes 2 Pack Rats. I guess he's going to attack and force some blocks here.
Yep.
Jace got plussed.
Mm-hmm.
So those are currently 2-3 Pack Rats if they attack. There's still a Mutavault floating around, and Jared can potentially make... They can get to 4-5 between the card in his hand and a Mutavault. But whatever, Brad just chumps.
Blocks with a whole bunch of stuff.
I mean, maybe even gang block. And he's got 9 tokens. He can put 5 in front of one Pack Rat, 4 in front of the other, and then like once the first one dies, the second one will also die.
Yeah.
No, and he can't do that. He has to block all of them.
He's got to just chump
Yeah,
each
chump,
one.
chump, chump. What is this? Oh, another Erebos. It's pretty good. Resolves. Brad's still clinging to that last point of life.
Oh my goodness.
D-Sphere, D-Sphere.
Azorius Charm, D-Sphere, D-Sphere. Oh, so...
This is actually happening.
So no matter what, he gets the D-Sphere away of the Pack Rats. And then he can Azorius Charm, lifelink his team after he ultimates an Elspeth, and jump up to like 20 life.
Unbelievable. I can't believe Brad Nelson's going to win this
Oh
game.
my goodness gracious! I'm actually on the edge of my seat. I'm leaning upward.
And all because, I mean, he de-spheres Erebos. This is one of the more remarkable comebacks I've ever seen. And it starts with a bluff, right? It starts with Brad Nelson passing the turn confidently. Jared could just alpha strike Brad, and it would have worked. Brad would have been dead. But instead, Jared decided he needed to get Jace off the board and set up lethal for the next turn. But Brad top deck Supreme Verdict to get this ridiculous comeback started. There is an Elspeth emblem.
Yep.
There is
Lifelink.
6/3/3 flyers headed over for 18 damage, and the lifelink ability from Azorius Charm puts Brad up to 19. Oh, and a replacement Elspeth.
Yep. And now it makes three
Makes
more
3/3
3/3s.
flyers. Brad Nelson, ladies and gentlemen.
Brad Nelson is a bad man. A bad man.
Do not want to mess with this guy at standard Grand Prix.
I mean, there's no way Bile Blight's still in Jared's deck, so.
That's
but it
what
could
he needs.
be. Yeah.
I mean, it's not even that good. Like, it buys him a turn. Brad's at 19, and he can make 3/3/3 flyers every turn.
You're right. You're right. It's just
I mean,
not
I guess
even
you
good
could
enough.
kill Elspeth. If you want Bile Blight, kill Elspeth. Unbelievable.
Wow, that was absolutely ridiculous. Brad Nelson making it to the finals with one of the most ridiculous series of top decks